I have just had my custody term extended for 2 months more. Everything will be great. Glory to Ukraine.
Leni Umerova, 25-year-old Crimean Tatar. She was arrested while on her way to her homeland, Crimea, where she was going to visit her sick father. Leni has been held for more than a year in one of the strictest pre-trial detention centers, Lefortovo in Moscow. The reason for this is the Crimean registration in her Ukrainian passport, which irritated Russian security forces. Loyal to the traditions of the Soviet secret services, spycraft, their current Russian heirs have classified the case. No explanations were given either to her or her lawyer, but there is a prospect of 20 years in prison.
Everything that happened after was a kind of endless nightmare, or if to say philosophically, a challenge to pass.
Leni Umerova is one of the 125 Crimean Tatars illegally detained in Crimea or Russia. There are at least 208 of such Crimean prisoners. This is the data as of February 2024 provided by the mission of the President of Ukraine in the Autonomous Republic of Crimea. Crimean Tatars, the indigenous people of Ukraine alongside with Ukrainians, have been the main target of Russian security forces since the first days of the occupation of the peninsula.
Praise our Creator greatly and may He be pleased with you.
Letters are perhaps the only way to hear from the loved ones who were illegally detained, arrested, convicted, and taken from their native Crimea. Wives and mothers of illegally imprisoned Crimean Tatars write them together. This evening of letters was held in the temporarily occupied Bakhchisarai. Mumin's husband, a blogger and activist of the Crimean Solitary Movement, Seyran Saliyev, was illegally arrested in October 2017. Seyran Saliyev was illegally arrested in October 2017. Seyran identified as terrorist and groundlessly given lengthy prison sentences. In 2022, a military court in Rostov-on-Don, Russia, sentenced Seyran Saliyev to 16 years in prison.
Such a heartwarming feeling that they call me Crimea in the colony. This is a connection with Crimea.
They knocked on the door and said they were the police. They gave some time to get dressed and came in. Nothing was explained to us.
In such a way, the illegal search in the house of Imam Ismail Yurdamov took its place. Without explanation, they turned the whole house upside down and took the father away.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, the so-called guests came to me with machine guns and all the attributes typical of them, with such accusations that I even don't know if they realized what they were saying. In the end, I was accused only with one article: illegal missionary activity.
Espionage, illegal activities, participation in organizations banned in Russia, the so-called discrediting of the Russian army, the so-called Russian judicial system makes up for far-fetched changes and discriminatory, politically motivated articles on all Crimean political prisoners. In 10 years, human rights defenders have recorded more than 5,000 cases of human rights violations, most of which are against the Crimean Tatars. Political repressions is the only reason why those whose ancestors were forcibly taken from Crimea 80 years ago and who returned to Crimea despite arrest, persecution, and even a threat to life, leave their homes. Now their house is illegally occupied and they cannot return to Crimea, but they are waiting to return to their liberated home. Those who remain in Crimea despite the danger are waiting and believing.
Everything will be great. Glory to Ukraine.